Welcome back to my channel Bike Rider. Today. The 2026 Honda CBR600RR is the latest iteration of Honda's middleweight supersport offering. It's designed to straddle the line between track-focused performance and road usability, and while many of its core attributes carry forward from previous years, Honda has refined and reaffirmed its commitment to this platform. In this overview I'll break down its engine and drivetrain, chassis and suspension, braking and tires, ergonomics and dimensions, electronics and features, real-world use and market considerations, so you get a full picture of what this machine offers. Engine and drivetrain. At its heart, the 2026 CBR600RR features a 599cc liquid-cooled inline-four engine. Here are key specifics. Bore and stroke: 67.0 mm x 42.5 mm. Compression ratio: 12.2:1. Fuel system: dual-stage fuel injection DSFI with 40 mm throttle bodies and Denso 12-hole injectors. Transmission: close ratio 6-speed manual, final drive via number 525 O-ring chain. Performance-wise, while exact horsepower torque figures for the US spec may not always be explicitly published, international data suggest values in the ballpark of approximately 121 PS, approximately 119 horsepower, and approximately 64 Nm of torque, approximately equals 47 pound-feet, at high revs. The engine is tuned very much for high revving performance, typical of 600cc class sport bikes, with a short stroke aiding in rev potential and a relatively high compression ratio for its class. The DSFI system and ram air intake help ensure strong throttle response across the rev range. This means you're going to feel lively, responsive power especially when you work the engine toward its upper rev band. That said, as with many supersport machines, the mid-range low to moderate revs may feel less aggressive compared to larger capacity or more torque-biased bikes. In short, thrilling when you ride it hard. Chassis, suspension and handling. Handling is a major strength of the 2026 CBR600RR. Honda has equipped it with high-quality components and focused on balance and agility. Key features include front suspension: 41 mm inverted big piston fork (BPF) featuring spring preload, rebound and compression damping adjustability. Travel: approximately 4.7 inches. Rear suspension: Unit Pro Link HMAS single shock with adjustability, spring preload, rebound, compression, and about 5.1 inches of travel. Frame, chassis. The fuel tank is located low and as centrally as possible to improve mass centralization. Wheelbase: 53.9 inches, 1369 mm according to spec sheet. Seat height: 32.4 inches, approximately 823 mm in the US spec. Handling verdict: the combination of the BPF front fork, fully adjustable rear shock and well-engineered chassis make the bike genuinely capable both on the road and on the track. The low seat height for a sport bike of this caliber helps a bit with more riders being able to get comfortable and planted. For someone who enjoys aggressive cornering, nimble handling, and a bike that turns in quickly, the 600RR hits very high marks. On the flip side, as with many supersports, long-distance comfort or upright touring might be less ideal because of the aggressive ergonomics and suspension setup biased toward performance. Brakes, tires and practical handling. Stopping power and the grip assets are also crucial for a supersport. For the 2026 model: front brakes: dual 310 mm full-floating discs with 4-piston radial-mounted monoblock calipers. Rear brake: single 220 mm disc. Tires: front 120/70ths ZR17, rear 180/55ths ZR17. These are competitive, high-spec components. The radial-mounted calipers suggest very strong brake feel and grabbing power, which is essential when pushing hard. Tire sizes are consistent with the class, allowing for wide rear rubber and good contact patch when cornering hard. Ergonomics, dimensions and rider fit. Some key dimension spec figures. Curb weight: 419 pounds, approximately 190 kg for the base version. Fuel capacity: 4.8 gallons, approximately 18.2 L in US spec. Seat height: 32.4 inches, 823 mm. Ergonomically, This is still a full-on sport bike position. Higher foot pegs, a forward-leaning posture, tucked-in fuel tank, and compact dimensions. For physically taller riders or those who prefer more upright seating or touring comfort, it may feel somewhat aggressive over longer distances. But for riders who relish sporty riding, track days or spirited canyon carving, the ergonomics align well with the performance intent. Features and technology. Although the 600cc Supersport class often receives fewer exotic electronics than leader-class machines, the 2026 CBR600RR does incorporate some advanced features. Honda Electronic Steering Damper (HESD) dynamically adjusts damping based on speed and handlebar deflection to improve low-speed maneuverability and high-speed stability. Dual-stage RAM air intake system to improve high RPM power delivery. Radial-mounted monoblock calipers for high-feel braking performance. What may be lacking, depending on market spec, are the more elaborate electronics found on some rivals. For example, full IMU with multiple ride modes, quick shifter, or connectivity. Some reports suggest the US version is less feature-rich than the international spec. Market positioning and price. Honda lists the 2026 CBR600RR with base MSRP $11,499 USD plus $600 destination for the non-ABS version. The ABS version is priced higher, $12,499 United States dollars, according to motorcycle.com specs. In terms of value, at that price point you're getting a true race-bred chassis in a middleweight package, which makes it quite compelling, especially if you plan to ride it aggressively. For riders planning more casual use, commuting, or long-distance touring, you might compare it against other bikes in the 600-750cc class and consider trade-offs: comfort, versatility versus track focus. Suitability and use cases. Best suited for riders who enjoy high-revving engines, sporty riding, track days or aggressive cornering on the road. Those who appreciate finely tuned suspension, precision handling and the feel of a purpose-built machine. Intermediate to advanced riders who are comfortable with sport bike ergonomics and less concerned about relaxed comfort. Considerations: trade-offs. The aggressive seating position and firm suspension may be less comfortable for long touring or upright commuting. While fuel capacity is reasonable for the class, 4.8 gallons, range may still be somewhat limited compared to more touring-oriented bikes. Service costs. High-revving inline-fours tend to require more frequent maintenance if ridden hard track use. The electronics package may be less advanced compared to some competitors, depending on region. Competition and alternatives. Within the 600cc Supersport class, relevant comparisons might include bikes like the Kawasaki Ninja ZX6R, Yamaha YZF-R6, though note some markets have restricted this, and others. Compared to those, the CBR600RR offers Honda reliability, a proven quattro-cylinder high-revving engine and strong chassis dynamics. Open to slightly different types of bikes, for example, more street-oriented, neo-sport, or super naked machines, you might evaluate how often you'll use the full sport bike capability versus everyday comfort and versatility. Final thoughts. The 2026 Honda CBR600RR is a superbly engineered sport machine that stays true to the middleweight superbike ethos. Lightish weight, approximately 190 kg, 419 lb, high-revving inline-four engine, race-type chassis and suspension, top-tier brakes, and a focus on rider engagement. If you're someone who rides for thrills, likes attacking corners, perhaps takes a track day from time to time, and wants a bike that delivers precision and responsiveness, it's an excellent choice. On the other hand, if your riding is mostly commuting, relaxed cruising or long-distance touring, you might want to also consider the ergonomics, ease of use and feature set and compare against alternatives that may offer a bit more comfort or practicality at some cost to pure sport focus. Subscribe me channel.